Hey, dude.
All right, how are we gonna do this? Where do we start? This is, well, first of all, that quick snippet at the beginning was basically our yard, or you might call that our staging yard currently. And that will extend out so we can get some longer trains going. But as far as the track plan, first of all, we made it up as we went. The beauty of Kato Unitrack is that you can take it apart, put it back together, experiment, and really have a good time trying to figure out something cool. We don't have any computer programs or anything to help us out, and we weren't looking for that. We just wanted to go for it. I can tell you that this did start with the idea of a continuous loop. So right now, Minnesota Commercial is on our original loop, which swoops around, goes downgrade, and then it'll come through here. And we're going to imagine that this inside track right here was our original loop, and it goes back uphill there. I would argue we have one main line, which our train is on currently. We have basically a passing line, or a passing line right here. So he's going to go straight, and technically if you had two trains going, one could go side by side for a short time and then meet back up with the main line. So I'd argue we have one main line and then the two passing tracks right here. And then, well, let me back up. We have our main line that he's on right now, and then we added this passing lane on the outside. I'm going to switch a couple of switches. That switch over there and this one right under the bridge from your point of view. I switched those two. Now he's still on the main line, but he's going to come on to this outside passing track. Well, you guys are going to kill me for terminology, I'm sure of it. Now, this was our second addition after experimenting for a while. We put in this outside lane. And I think our main thought was we had such a tight space right here. We knew we wanted to get some of our yard / staging area over here. Now we're on this outside loop. Now, staying on the main line, I'm going to switch back to that inside passing lane on the main line, so to speak. Those are our first two switches here. Those are I would argue, the most important to get going. These next two switches right here are going to bring us to what I think we're going to call our city loop. If you haven't seen the videos before, essentially we're going to have Minneapolis over here and St. Paul over here. And as this guy comes around, we're going to go into our city loop right here on the very inside. And that was a late addition. The idea was always there. I wanted some track over there for sure for our St. Paul. Oh, here we go. Let me switch these in. So I just switched two switches right here and over there. So now you might call this a second loop. I guess you could say we have 2 or 3 loops. Maybe I'll do a diagram. We'll call this city loop, loop number 1. After he comes out, we'll call this next loop, the main line, we'll call this portion on the inside passing lane loop number 2. And then, as you guessed, I'm going to switch the switch over there and over here to get us on this outside passing lane You might call that loop number 3. Let's call this loop number 3. All right. One last thing. First of all, we're running one power pack. This is DC. A little game we like to play. As long as you have a crawling train, a slower train, and then number 2, you have a fast train, like our Amtrak over here. We like to play a little game where you get both trains on there and you keep them going for as long as you can, and you have to strategically use your loops and your switches and keep them both running. So we're going to play that game right now. I'm not going to try to explain it, though, as we go. So here comes the Amtrak passenger vehicle. And we have some freight, usually lumber in our town. And now he's going to pass there, so I'm going to actually cut off Minnesota Commercial. Let the Amtrak go by, and then get him going again. And then we see where we are next. I'm going to bring our freight cars out into the main line. And then now I'm going to switch the Amtrak into our city loop, we'll call it. Oh, and then you screw up. We got lucky that time. Didn't cut it out. So right now we're going to keep the Amtrak on that inner loop while that slow guy over there makes its way around. All right, here's the challenge right now. Is that Amtrak going to beat Minnesota Commercial to that switch over there? Usually, yes, no problem. Beat him to that switch. I'll bring the Amtrak out on the main loop. Let Minnesota Commercial come in here. I have 2 choices, out on the main loop again. Or I bring him on the inside. Bring an Amtrak out on the outside because he would crash into him on the inside, obviously. Oh, this is going to be close. Ooh, I might even get a pass for you guys. Maybe not. So the goal, in my opinion, for this game is to get 2 trains on this passing lane. And if you got a fast enough one, and you don't screw up on the switches, I got to reset now. You can get 2 trains passing right there. That's fun for us. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Just trying to explain our track plan. Even though it wasn't planned out, it worked out really well. Please copy it. It's a good time. Let me know if you have any questions.